Welcome back guys, so no sooner did we have the patch update, we are then hit with the mid-chapter changes that are coming soon. Want to know what is happening, especially to this guy here, then stay tuned. Alrighty, so first things first, the devs have mentioned that they are starting a new initiative to review the previously released chapter. This is a great idea because when a chapters are released, people are very quick to jump on the bandwagon, letting us know that a killer's very overpowered or they're very bad, without really learning to either play with or against that killer. The devs have stated that hopefully after a few months they can review this and address any balance issues. Whether they get this right or wrong is another thing, but they are certainly going to try, which is a welcome thing to see. The chapter that is being checked out now by the devs is the Silent Hill chapter. That means that the changes are going to affect Mr. Pyramid Head himself, and there has been a few changes to his power. Has he been nerfed? Has he been buffed? We'll let you decide. First change I've implemented is to increase the delay after cancelling the Rite of Judgement before Pyramid Head can attack. The reason for this was people were using it more of pallet and windows when the survivors were stuck in animation, so couldn't avoid the attack. By increasing the delay, they are hoping it adds a small window of opportunity for the survivors to avoid the attack. So basically, you're chasing a survivor, you dig your knife into the floor, ready for a range attack. The survivor doesn't really have much choice what to do. If they vault a window, you will then do the range attack. If they decide to try to bait it, hoping you do the range attack, you can just let go of that, your knife comes out of the ground and you can hit them as normal. So it was quite, shall we say, overpowered as such, but it didn't help the survivors in their case. So I think this is going to help survivors try to counter the Pyramid Head more often, let's say. The second change is going to see the devs decrease the delay after attacking with Punishment of the Damned. This could be seen as a buff to his powers, meaning that you will recover more quickly when you miss an attack using his power. So they've nerfed one thing, they've buffed another. So basically when you miss a range attack, you will have a little less cooldown on there. So I think the moral of the story is they're trying to get you to use his powers more correctly and more efficiently. This is all going to be implemented on the PTB on Steam on the 29th September. The devs have also took a look into the perks from the Silent Hill chapter as well and made the following changes to Trail of Torment, Force Penance and Blood Pact. So Trail of Torment will receive a buff with the undetectable status removed from a timer to until two scenarios happen. The gen that you kick to get the perk to work has stopped regressing. You've kicked the gen, you've gone undetectable. Someone then comes and starts working on that gen, you will lose your undetectable status. Or until you're down a survivor. So that's not a bad effort, and I think it's certainly a nice change to having a timed effect on there. Force Penance, so they've recognised, doesn't really get used much because of the time limits again, so the broken effect status has been increased by 20 seconds on all tiers. Blood Pact would normally give you the haste effect for a period of time. This is Blood Pact as a Cheryl Mason. This has been changed to make it last indefinitely until the two survivors are affected and no longer within 16 meters of one another. So as long as you're in 16 meters, you're going to have that. Once you go out of there, the Blood Pact will run out. Now that's the changes that will be made for the Silent Hill chapter. However, there's been some interesting changes to a few more perks that have been around a little bit longer, and let's quickly run through these now. Any Means Necessary has had its cooldown reduced to 60 seconds and added a score event for resetting the pallet. So what they're saying, when they first released this perk, they were worried that it was going to be pretty overpowered, so they put quite a long timer on there, but that's been reduced to 60 seconds now. Through Limit has had its radius increased to 32 meters from 24. Again, a little bit of a buff to that as well. For the People has had a score event added. Mindbreaker has had an increased duration of the exhausted effect. Slippery Meat. This was basically just a perk to use against a trapper, so they've adjusted it by removing the ability to escape bear traps, but have increased the chances of you being able to perform a Corby off the hook. Thanophobia removed the heal speed penalty that it provided, however they have increased the penalty to other actions, so a little bit of a buff to the other actions, but a little bit of a nerf to the fact that you were getting a heal speed penalty. This is basically to encourage survivors to heal up. We're going to live forever. They've added new ways to get totemed and increased healing speed when healing a dying survivor. Technician's been changed to remove the chance of an explosion with missed skill checks. However, they have added a small penalty to missing skill checks. This is for people who struggle with skill checks, new players, so improves that for those players. Now, here's the big one for me. Pop Goes the Weasel. It's a massive change because Pop Goes the Weasel is one of the most popular perks around. I use it on all my killers and it is one of the best perks. The devs have reduced the cooldown for this to 45 seconds instead of 60 seconds. Now we've all done this, we've all seen this. You have hooked a survivor, you are going to pop a gen, you see another survivor, so instead, because you've got 60 seconds, you give chase thinking, I'll come back to that gen if I don't catch that survivor soon. So what will happen, you'll down that survivor, you will leave that survivor down while you go use your Pop Goes the Weasel, you'll then go back, pick that survivor up, hook them, and have Pop Goes the Weasel again for another gen, or if someone's tapped that gen, you'll use it on that. This nerf is to stop this happening, so we'll see how that goes. It doesn't seem like long from 60 to 45, but it's basically going to push you more as a killer to want to kick that gen rather than initiate another chase. There was a little update on perk rarity as well, so basically they're going to organise those, so it makes it easier to look for perks when you're on your selections. Lastly, there's a little teaser for the new graphics update, which will be Macmillan's estate, and here are some pictures. Now, these look extremely impressive, so I'm really looking forward to all this coming to the game soon. Like I said earlier, the changes will be on the PTB on Tuesday the 29th September, so watch your space and we'll be testing it out to see how it all goes. So what do you guys think of the changes? Any Pyramid Head mains around? Are you happy with these changes? Has he been buffed? Has he been nerfed? Let me know what you think. Are you happy with the perk changes, or are you extremely dissatisfied? Any Pop Goes the Weasel users out there? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed the video guys. If you did, give it a quick like, and if you want to see more, then make sure you press that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you will be updated when the next video is released. Thanks guys.